4 to 5 hours I kept for myself just for the
Study.
preparation for a PTE examinations.
Okay, so was this 4 to 5 hour session on daily basis or weekly basis? Are there any specific resources or tools or any strategies, any tips and tricks that you would definitely try to recommend to some?
You have to write your name specifically
Okay.
as per your passport. That was a mistake that I did.
So how is time divided in all four modules?
Throughout this journey, I think academically has been played a very important role for this preparation.
Hello, good evening, everyone. I am Dr. Saiqa Khan, English instructor at Academically for OET, PTE, and IELTS courses. Today, with us, we have Dr. Aditya, who has recently cleared his PTE exam with flying, amazing scores. So, very welcome, Dr. Aditya, and many congratulations.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Okay. So, to begin with, Dr. Aditya, can you tell us something about how did you plan to clear the exam? And also, you can start by telling us something about yourself.
Sure. So basically, I'm preparing for my AMC journey, and I have passed my AMC Part 1 examinations.
Mm-hmm.
And then now I have cleared my PT examinations with a score of 89 out of 90, in
That's
which I
great.
scored 86 in listening and 90 in the rest of the modules.
That's great. So, since you are a healthcare professional, I can imagine how committed your life is. So, how did you manage the time? I mean, the work, family, and studies at the most.
Yeah. So basically, the thing that you have to emphasize is motivation. So my
Definitely.
motivation was to get above 80, so it would be for ease to file
That's
for
great.
PR process and all those things. So basically, that was my motivation. I wanted to go with first try
Mm-hmm.
and to score above 80 marks.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was my motivation. And finding time in between my clinical hours was something that was very challenging. But I think I gained around 4 to 5 hours. I 4 to 5 hours I kept for myself just for
Study.
the preparation for a PTE examinations.
Okay, so was this 4 to 5 hour session on daily basis or weekly basis?
No, on daily basis. Because I don't think one should have like mo- an individual can do it like in 1 to 2 months if you give like 4 to 5 hours per day. I think it is sufficient for any working doctors, especially
Okay.
doctors, to score this.
Okay. Well, I'm sure that since you have cleared PTE with amazing marks, you have four modules there: reading, speaking, listening, and writing. So, was it easier for you to identify what is your weak point, in which module you have proficiency? How did you do that? How did you get to know about this?
Yeah, so basically, English is not my first language. I think
Right.
that would be the case for everyone, right?
Right.
So
Absolutely.
I think I would take it as a common, like fluency thing, and
Mm-hmm.
the grammar part is weak, I think, of all the doctors.
Most of the candidates, right.
So I referred for the basics,
Mm-hmm.
like writing the essay part, clearing my grammar basics,
Mm-hmm.
and there is also a thing called shadowing.
Okay, right.
So we have to imitate for the fluency
Definitely.
part. We have to imitate a person who is very fluent in speaking in English,
Mm-hmm.
and that way we can actually improve our fluency because uh, the teachers like yourself would be guiding students to speak fluently, but at the end of the day, the doctor has to do it by
Until
himself.
and unless the student puts in the effort.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm sure you must have used some resources, tools, websites. Are there any specific resources or tools or any strategies, any tips and tricks that you would definitely try to recommend to some?
So basically, you don't have to. First, if I speak about the listening module or speaking module, the first module in the PT exams is speaking module.
Right?
So Pearson's headphones are like very, good. You don't have to speak loudly in order to
Okay.
be, uh,
Clear
yeah,
or intelligible. Right. Mhm.
so just speak normally, confidently, and relax. Be relaxed for that,
Mhm.
and you should be good to go for that listening part. For the reading and the reading part, you can like practice 3, 4, 5 questions per day, and that way there are lots of YouTube videos around too.
Right.
And for the essay practices, you can do like on the online platform. There are online platforms, and also PT has 3 or 4 their own exams. I think it is named as PTE A, B, C, D.
Right.
If you're confident or if you're not confident, you should definitely take those exams.
Okay. So, what would be the first advice that comes to your mind if you suggest someone about the PT or the strategies that they should be following? For example, the one who has already attempted PT once, or the tips and tricks, or for that matter, if you are to retake the exam, what would you do differently?
Correct. So first thing I would clear out is like you have to write your name specifically
Okay.
as per your passport. That was a mistake that I did.
Okay, great.
I did not write my full name as per passport, and
Mhm.
that I realized just like 4 to 5 hours before, and
Mhm.
I needed to retake the exam. So yeah, they won't be refunding the amount, and you would
Mhm.
have to retake the exam. So I did retake my exams due to this
Oh,
compromise. So yeah, first of all, do that thing, write and fill all your given names and surnames and all these things according to your passport only. That
okay.
would be my first
That's
advice.
that's a good point. That is something all candidates should note, that whatever is your official identity name, whatever is there in your passport, make sure you write the same spelling, full name, etc. Okay, there is one more question that I'd like to talk about. That is your modules again: speaking, reading, listening, writing. So, do you think that practicing for this PT or doing self study or using any materials or any resources, it would be a good idea to go module wise, or it's a good idea to do the integrated skill building? What do you think is more effective?
Um, I didn't. I was more focusing on my module parts because I think speaking was contradictory to what the results are, but my listening skills were very good.
Hmm.
And that
Okay,
is one model that I scored 86 and not 90.
that's.
But I was pretty confident that my listening skills were good, and
Hmm.
my speaking skills and
Hmm.
writing skills in particular were not that good. So I focused mainly on speaking and writing. And in
Okay.
writing, specifically essay part,
Okay.
because
Right.
summarized text is like it is easy. You can do
Hmm.
it. But
And you
essay,
have the same question in listening, you have the same question in speaking. So, for that question, you can do a lot of practice.
exactly,
Right.
exactly.
Mhm. So, in a writing subtest, you emphasized on your essays.
Yeah,
You got to know about. So, I would say you are saying that integrated, not only in one module, you should be focusing on. For example, on Monday, you are planning to do practice on reading. On Tuesday, try to do, because in PT itself, as you are familiar, that you have integrated skill assessments. In listening subtest, not only you are listening, but at one point when you are summarizing, you are writing as well. So
correct,
listening and writing are being assessed. Okay.
correct.
So another question would go, uh, how has this PT helped you in career building? How has it opened the doors for your career opportunities? What flexibility it has given you?
Correct. So basically, if some doctors are going through the standard pathway as such as me,
Hmm.
AMC1 is the first door,
Hmm.
and around 40 to 50% jobs or internships that Australia has to offer has mandatory thing, and
Hmm.
the registration part for any limited provisional or general registration, you
Hmm.
should have English proficiency test. So
Absolutely.
it is not that you have passed AMC part 1 and you would get the job. you would
Uh-huh.
have to eventually pass your English test exams. So it is as much important as the AMC 1 exams.
Right. Since you are the face of the hospital, you have a lot of public dealing. So they are going to give you the job. So they want to be assured that you can deal with public whose first language is English.
Yeah.
Right.
And just for this note, limited registration, which is after AMC Part 1, you clear
Mm-hmm.
AMC Part 1,
Mm-hmm.
they have specified that you have to get 65 plus scores in every module
Uh-huh.
for the limited registration.
That's great.
Yeah,
So what about the time management? So, when you are attempting the exam, like you mentioned, you start with your speaking subtest. So, how is time divided in all four modules? So, how did you manage that? So, how do you finish the things on time?
correct. So you just have to relax. Like there are four modules,
Hmm.
and first is speaking. So they will instruct you. Like PTE
Right,
is very considerate for that.
right,
They will instruct you now the this speaking module is starting, or now the writing module is starting. You can take
absolutely.
a pause for around 1 to 2 minutes before starting any modules.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah, so if supposedly your speaking module has gone bad,
Hmm.
or comparatively not at what you had thought in mind, you can take a break for a minute or two after, like before continuing with your listening or writing, and then you can move ahead for this thing.
Okay, that's absolutely, I would say, insightful for the students who are going to attempt for PC. Excellent insights for the students who are planning to book an exam. So, to wrap up this course, I would really like to tell you, share something about that was the most beautiful part of this journey, and that you would definitely recommend to all the students who are planning, for example, do not rush. What do you think students should keep in mind, apart from consistency?
See, people on platforms have been suggesting to just give the PT exams in 10 to 15 days, but
Mhm.
I would personally suggest take your time,
Definitely.
prepare for a month or two,
Mhm.
and then give your exams. Try to score as high as possible. That would look good on your CV. And throughout this journey, I think academically has been like played a very important role for this preparation.
Okay,
That
well,
is grateful for.
On this note, thank you so much, Dr. Aditya, for joining us today. And once again, many congratulations. We at Academically are, very happy, extremely happy that we were in one way or the other a part of this beautiful journey of yours. And definitely, you cleared it in your first go with all you could give it to. And thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Have a nice day.